what's about to happen, y'all. It's about to be the 4th of July. And the 4th of July means fireworks. It means music. It means fun. It means barbecue. It means hamburgers, hot dogs. It means lots and lots of people on the road. So please be safe. Worry about yourselves, but worry about others too. Pay attention if they're doing something crazy. Today, I got behind a gentleman who was talking to the guy in the thing next door to him, or in the next lane. It was so funny because I was watching and I'm like, I know he pulled out in front of you, and that guy's just, and I laughed and I thought, yeah, I've done that a time or two. Be cautious. The roads are going to be full of visitors coming to the Georgia mountains. They're coming for 2 reasons. They're coming because they get an extra day off because the 4th is on Friday, so they're going to have a few days off. And they're also coming because it is almost the 75th anniversary of the Georgia Mountain Fair. And on the 4th of July this year, the Nathan Morgan Band is going to be doing music at the music hall. It's going to be a free concert. And then you stay for the fireworks. Now, does anything get any better than that? The fireworks at Lake Chattooga, at the Georgia Mountain Fair, that's where you should be on the 4th of July, which is on a Friday. Now, go back to the 28th of June, and you should be in Ball Ground, Georgia, and you should be there for a really cool concert and the fireworks. Now, do our fireworks compare to the fireworks over Lake Chattooga? Maybe. I think our fireworks are pretty awesome. They're better than most, and everybody loves coming to Ball Ground. And the cool thing I like about it is 5,000 to 10,000 people will be there. They will come, enjoy the music, enjoy the concert, enjoy the fireworks, and then they all pick up their trash and leave. They don't leave Ball Ground looking like a disaster. Everybody's so nice, so friendly, and everybody's hospitable. It's just a really good time. So put those dates down. June the 28th in Ball Ground, fireworks, free, fun, concert, free. Come and be with us. And then load them young'uns up and go to Hiawassee, to the Georgia Mountain Fairgrounds, where you will have a Nathan Morgan concert. The Nathan Morgan Band will be there. Great concert, and then fireworks. Load up your campers, load up your RVs, take your tents, take your young'uns, and get up there and get ready for a good weekend. But be cautious because the roads will be full. You might leave a little bit early, you might drive a little slower, and you might just enjoy the looks along the way because there'll be some cool scenery, there'll be some neat cars, and you'll just have a good time. Just relax. When you come to these mountains, there are 2 things you should learn. You should learn to say howdy, and you should learn to just chill. So call the mountains chilling time, but when you get up here, don't get in high gear, don't be running 90 miles an hour, don't be a smart aleck when somebody gets in front of you in a line. Just be sweet. Just come to the mountains and have a good attitude because the mountains are full of good folks, and we welcome you to come and visit. Now, this weekend, we're going to welcome you to the Fiddlers Convention, and this is going to be in Blairsville, and this is at Union County Schools Fine Art Center, and this is $5. All-day entertainment, $5. You can't do anything all day for $5. So come and be with us. But 4 people are going to get to come for free because tonight on Facebook, I'm going to give away 4 tickets. They will be waiting for you at the door. You don't have to chase me down to get the tickets. They will have them there at the door. I will send a message and they'll just put them in an envelope for you. So if 4 people want to go to the convention, you will get to listen to some fiddle players, some guitars, some bluegrass bands, and you will get to stay all day long. If you want to go about noon when the action really gets to going, then you can do that. Whatever you want to do, it's going to be free for 4 of y'all. So this is Saturday, and our guys will be filming that, and it will be right here on ETC, and you'll get to see it. And you know what? There's just something about this local TV. We've been doing it a long time, and it cracks me up because I've been going through files and files of pictures. I've probably got trace 100,000 pictures. Is that about right? I've got so many pictures of so many of y'all, so many places. And in the last couple of weeks, I took a little trip up to McKaysville, to Copper Hill, up to Fields of the Wood, and it was so good to go back to those places where we first started. You know, y'all came out of these mountains and you came to visit us. Now, this is a little trip I made the other day to go see Dawn and Papa John for his birthday. And the storm was a-coming, and I said, oh, what am I going to do? So I pulled over at the Baptist church, and I thought, well, if the storm's going to take me out of here, I guess the Baptist church is as good a place to die as any. And when I was sitting there thinking about it, I was thinking about life, and I said, this is something that I can't remember who gave me this book, but it says, the world is a looking glass and gives back to each person a reflection of his attitude. And we want to kind of honor somebody today. His name is Dwight Sanford, or y'all know him better as Mr. Ellijay. We're going to honor him because he has, he took my advice. He never takes my advice, but he took my advice. And we've put together a CD of all his originals, all the originals. It's all original music he wrote about these mountains, about you people, about your friends, maybe about your daddy, maybe about your cousin, maybe about Jackie Dunn, maybe about somebody you knew and loved. And we're going to produce that CD, and it's going to be out there for y'all. But because of the 75th anniversary of Georgia Mountain Fair and how the Mountain Life song suits that so well, we are actually going to give away 100 of those CDs. So if you're coming to the Georgia Mountain Fair, you might find yourself with some really good music to listen to as you're there and as you're heading back home in your CD player. So all original music by this crazy mountain man that y'all know and love. And it is so funny. You can't be anywhere around him and not find something to smile about or laugh about because he's just plumb crazy. But he is so much fun. A good guy, good person who he's a stickler at everything. Everything has to be perfect. The music has been mastered, and then he'd find one little lick he didn't like and he'd redo it. It's all going to production now, and the CDs will be ready in just a couple of weeks. So I'm really excited about that. You're going to get to hear a little bit of his music today because you're going to get to hear the Mountain Life. And the Mountain Life was really written as he started it in his head going 5:15, thinking about, talking about, and then he gets put together. And I'm like, who could do that? Who could write that song? And he's done a lot of stuff, but I guess Mountain Life is our favorite. Everybody loves it. And it says, hey, that sounds like my family. Hey, that sounds like my kinfolks. Hey, that sounds like the places we used to go. And I think that's what's so cool about it. It just makes you want to get in your car and come to the mountains. And we hope that a lot of you do. And I hope you stay safe. So today, don't forget that the Fiddlers Convention, again, is I'm going to give away 4 tickets tonight. And I will do a trivia game. Pay attention to today's program, because I will do a trivia game tonight on Facebook, and I'll give away 4 tickets for that. Lots of things are happening at the Georgia Mountain Fair, and it is so crazy how they're putting together so many things to bring back the memories of the 75 years. And today we put together a few pictures. Tori is coming to town today. She doesn't come often. She doesn't get to stay long, and happy birthday day before yesterday to Papa John. There is Xana Jordan as we celebrated his birthday and Dawn's birthday. And happy birthday. You know, when you get to be as old as he is, you need to celebrate every birthday at all. He still loves to cook, still loves to farm, still loves to deal with the bees, still loves to play with the deer out in the yard. The deer think, I reckon the deer think he just calls them to supper because they come right up there to the carport. It's crazy. But farm life, the mountain life, that's what it's about. And this song, when Dwight wrote it, he really, he said, I don't know if I can write a song about these mountains. And it came to him so fast, and it just turned out so good. And everybody says, you've written a lot of good songs, but that's the best. And there's my buddy. There's my buddy. That's the reason all these years later I'm still doing television. That man instilled in me the love for getting to talk to people, visit with people, see people, and honor people. And that is a man who deserved to be honored. And this, y'all, remember dementia. Remember folks battling dementia. That sweet, sweet gentleman taught Sunday school for many years. He doesn't even remember now about going to church. It is so sad to see what dementia does to so many of our loved ones. So say a prayer for sweet Bonnie as she deals with this. And we have got a praise report. Gwen was in surgery all day, long surgery. But they think they got all the cancer. Now, y'all, this is one of those lessons learned. She kept telling the doctor, I don't think this is right. I don't think that's what's wrong with me. I don't think, but nobody said, let's do a colonoscopy. Had they done the colonoscopy earlier, the cancer wouldn't have been so invasive and it wouldn't have been so bad. But they did a lot of surgery on her. She had a lot of stuff done. She does have to be resectioned again in about 5 or 6 weeks because they had to take out a lot. So, but please pray and thank you for your prayers because everybody's been sending messages. And Gwen graduated from Pickens High School. She and her family grew up. She went to school in Pickens County and happened to move away, and she's a traveling nurse now and has been for years. But okay, we love hot rod cars, and Hiawassee Rod Run is going to be June the 19th, 20th, 21st. Get out there and go enjoy this. There is something about old cars. It just makes you feel good. It just makes you feel good. And maybe that's the reason that Dwight did such a good job writing the song he wrote about the mountain life, because he was riding around in a 1950 GMC truck that he loves. Oh, he dearly loves that truck. So don't forget, the Rod Run is the 19th, 20th, and 21st. So there you go. There you go. Get out and do it. Now, there's my car I would take to the Rod Run. That's a 66 Chevelle. A 66 Chevelle will always be my favorite car. I like a lot of other cars. I enjoy a lot of other cars, but that's my favorite car. And you talk about a throwback. There's a throwback. Sweet Motley was Tori's dog, and Motley got a brain tumor and went to be with Jesus. He crossed that Rainbow Bridge, and boy, you talk about a loss, because everybody loved that dog. Had the sweetest personality you've ever seen. And there you go, we're throwing it back to those days, and how beautiful, and how missed and how loved. And it's going to be so good to see Tori and have her in town, but every single day I think about what her mama's missing of her life. And you know, she's an Emmy Award winning artist from television, and she's smart and she's talented, and she got a lot of that from her mama. So love her, and so thankful for her. And I know that y'all watched her grow up right here on television, because she started doing TV with me when she was 14 and 15 years old. And she went on to do a lot. And like I said, she won Emmys, and she has accomplished a lot. And it started just loving television. There you go. Talk about throwing it back. Wow, we have thrown it way back. And this is so funny, y'all. You know, we had a huge building where our offices were in Jasper. And this was a snake got in our building. And I said, Freddie, you got to get this snake out of here. This was hysterical. He didn't get the snake ran away, and we never saw it again. But it was crazy, because we were all like, well, what kind is it? We don't care. It was alive and it was breathing. Do snakes breathe? I guess they do. But it was so funny, because he was like us. He didn't want to be anywhere near it. But trying to get the snake, now that's a long throwback. That's about 16 years ago. But it was so funny, because Angie just came in and said, I think there's a snake in my office. And there's where we began Heart of the Home many years ago. Lori Tipton, who just celebrated a birthday, and Ange and Tori and I, and yep, a lot of happy memories in that kitchen. We filmed a lot of television there, and we had a really, really good time. And there's Ansley Elizabeth and her mama and her sweet aunt. You know, it's so funny, because Ansley and Angela were so close. And I know how it affected me, but I know it also affected Ansley. And I would love for Angela to be here to see her beautiful daughter, and to see the mini me that everybody says she is. And she is wild. Now, this is Nathan Morgan, and he is the part of the Nathan Morgan Band that will be performing free at the Georgia Mountain Fairgrounds on July the 4th. Please make plans to attend. Come and be with everybody and enjoy those beautiful mountains. And call, I don't know if there are any boats available now, maybe I'll be booked, but you can call the Lake Chateau Marina and say, Eli, we need to book a boat and go out. We're going to show you a little bit of what we did, because we went out on a boat. Now, you can't go out on a boat on Lake Chateau unless you go to KFC and you get a bucket of chicken. I think that's a law. No, not really, but it is if you've got Trace on board, because Trace loves that chicken. So get out and do something with your family. You don't have to go a long distance. You don't have to spend a ton of money, but be safe out on these roads. There will be tons of fatalities over the holidays. There will be drinking and driving. Please remember, do not drink and drive. Do not drink and drive. You all know the story. You know that Brady Singleton was killed because people chose to drink and drive. Today we are still working on getting it together that we could have a road named in honor of this child. I'm determined. I don't know. I may have to go to the president to get it done. I don't know how we're going to get it done, but I want to get this done. We forget that this little boy was 3 years and 9 months old, and he went to be with Jesus because somebody was drinking and driving and didn't stop to render aid after they hit and left the scene of the crime. So it's one of those things. The holidays bring partying along, they bring happiness along, and they often bring sadness along. So don't drink and drive. Now we're going to share a very, very special program that we did up at the Georgia Mountain Fairgrounds. I hope it will encourage you to come on July the 4th and spend your evening, your afternoon, your evening there. If you've got an RV, if you've got a tent, pack up some stuff, bring you some bologna, some potted meat, a can of pineapple, make you a sandwich, whatever you want to do that makes it easy on yourself, and just chill. Just sit up there on the banks of the lake and just chill and enjoy the fireworks, because it's all going to be there free. That is the cool thing. Again, July the 4th, and on June the 28th, do please plan to come to Ball Ground. We invite everybody. Now somebody's going to say, Sherry, Ball Ground won't hold everybody. Well, it nearly will. It nearly will. So y'all come and see us. We're going to take a commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to share beautiful Lake Chateau and the beautiful Georgia Mountain Fairgrounds with you.
Whether you're in the mood for chicken strips, a delicious burger, our classic banana split, or an upside-down thick blizzard treat, we've got you covered. Hot and fresh food every day, every time, and delicious DQ soft serve make the perfect pair at your favorite place. Not fast food, fan food fast. Your Blue Ridge, Ellijay, and Jasper Dairy Queens are your meet, eat, and treat headquarters.
Thank you for choosing DQ. How may I serve you?
Here's the deal. We gotta set ourselves up. See, retirement is the long game. We can't play about our future or our finances. Make moves, set up goals. Don't worry about a setback. Just save up, stack up to reach them. Let's put ourselves in the right position. Pre-game to greater things. This is pre-tirement.
See us anytime you can.
Whether you're swimming in the sea or splashing in the pool, making a masterpiece, or just making memories. Writing a great American novel, or writing your term paper that's due tomorrow. Whatever you do in life, Farmers is here to protect it. For all your insurance needs, call Donald Curtis in Blue Ridge.
Lake Chattooga. Two of my favorite things in life are water and a warm fire. Join us for a trip to North Georgia and a look back as we move forward. Almost 75 years ago, the Georgia Mountain Fair began welcoming visitors to the beautiful Towns County area. The general manager, Hilda Thomason, works tirelessly to book great talent, amazing vendors, and many wonderful reasons to visit Towns County. Barbecue or beef stew, there are often cooking competitions and wine tastings. Located on the shores of Lake Chattooga and at the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains, we encourage you to get to know the area of North Georgia, minutes from Tennessee and the North Carolina line. The hills are filled with folks who still believe in life as taught by their ancestors, canning, gardening, and preserving the bounty of the land. Let's travel back to the days of yesterday with a trip through the Pioneer Village. Take a look at the old post office, schoolhouse, and the log cabin, much like your ancestors may have called home. Children love to visit the exhibit hall with the old tools and see the large collection of toy tractors. Learning the ways of the past often help us preserve it as we embrace the future. Washing clothes in the creek or hanging your ham in the smokehouse give you a sense of how hard the generations before us worked. Blacksmith, moonshine still, or quilting are all a part of the past scene during the summer fair or the fall festival. Let's take a trip down memory lane as I step into my favorite spot at the Georgia Mountain Fair. Wow, welcome to Anderson Music Hall and the Georgia Mountain Fair. I feel like I'm standing on sacred ground. This stage has welcomed so many amazing legends in music, from the Beach Boys to Loretta Lynn to George Jones to Merle Haggard, Gene Watson, Charlie Pride, you name it. There have been so many amazing talents standing right here where I'm standing. So I want to welcome you to sit down for about an hour. We're going to do a little bit of music. We're going to do a little bit of memories because the Georgia Mountain Fair is about to be 75 years old, and we want to celebrate them, celebrate all they've done for the state of Georgia, all they've done for music, and all they've done for families who have come here for almost 75 years enjoying just a little mountain life. How many of y'all have got grandkids, especially little boys, that would love to spend the day looking at all of this stuff that's just boy stuff, girl stuff, kids stuff, old folks stuff? There's something for everybody. There's just something in there for everybody because somebody's going to say, hey, my grandpa had one of those, or hey, my daddy had one of those, or hey, when I was a kid, I used to help Dad with one of those at the wood shop. I used to help to make syrup with one of those. There's so many things that will bring you back to your childhood or your grandparents' home. And you know what? I was thinking about, I don't know if we got any footage of the moonshine stills because Georgia is known for moonshine. And my granddaddy and his brothers made shine for years and years and years. That's how they fed their family. It isn't how they did anything illegal. It's how they fed their family, and that was a way of Georgia. And you will see things that show the way they got through those hard times. And they got through those hard times the best way they could. You know, if it weren't for these mountains and those moonshine runners, there wouldn't be a NASCAR today. So if you're a NASCAR fan, you better find you an old-time moonshiner and say, hey, bud, thank you for doing what you did, because you got us out now on these big old tracks and we're racing really fast now. But when you think about the past and rural Georgia, whether it be South Georgia, North Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama, rural areas really did create the hardest working people ever. And it's something maybe we ought to go back to some of those work ethics today, because it was hard, it was tough. You slept good because you worked hard. You didn't have to worry about, Lord, I can't sleep tonight. You slept plenty good because you were tired. Folks worked hard, they produced what they ate, and they didn't do it with that big fancy equipment. They did it with some stuff with mules, and many people had a huge garden, and that's how they fed their family, and they did it with tools that you're seeing now. And that's what it's about. It's about remembering the past, being appreciative of the future. So we are trying to take you on a trip that will truly embrace, remember, and treasure the past as we move into the future, because the future is very different. Very different. Have y'all seen any iPads or iPhones in this display? No, you have not. You have not, but you have seen an amazing collection of what America once was. Now I'm going to take you now to a song that I owned a restaurant for years. And by the time Friday night came, I was tired and I was war-slapped down and I was ready for a little bit of rest. And the girls fuss at me and they say, oh no, she's going to turn that jukebox up and she's going to play that John Conley song. Of course I did. Friday Night Blues.
All right, here's a song that both we guys and you ladies can relate to, well, around a certain time of the week, end of the week, specifically Friday night. He's been working all week, he's got mental fatigue, and that old couch sure looks fine. All week he's been gone, she's been sitting alone, slowly going out of her mind, as he kicks off his shoes for the 6 o'clock news. She's getting all prettied up, she's wanting to boogie, and he wants to lay there, and she's got the Friday night blues. Oh, those Friday night blues that get in your shoes, and they were to get you down. I bet there ain't a lady that I ever knew who didn't need her a night on the town. But the hills and the bills and the week full of deals has got him feeling you. While he's kicking his shoes off, she's putting hers on, 'cause she's got the Friday night blues. Hank Walther on the keyboard right there. Oh, there once was a time she was top of the line. Her nights like teenage dreams. Now it's operas at noon, dancing around with a broom, talking to the washing machine. Oh, the girl down the street says her husband is neat and makes it sound so true. Now she's feeling lonely, thinks she's the only one with the Friday night blues. Oh, those Friday night blues, they get in your shoes, and they were to get you down. I bet there ain't a lady that I ever knew who didn't need her a night on the town. But the hills and the bills and the week full of deals has got him feeling you. While he's kicking his shoes off, she's putting hers on, 'cause she's got the Friday night blues. Oh, those Friday night blues, they get in your shoes, and they were to get you down. I bet there ain't a lady that I ever knew who didn't need her a night on the got him feeling you. While he's kicking his shoes off, she's putting hers on, 'cause she's got the Friday night blues. All about the Friday night blues. Thank you.
Another great part of Appalachia is certainly the amazing music that came from the front porch after a Sunday dinner. Folks would gather round and strum a guitar or pick a banjo. The hills of Georgia played a huge part in bluegrass and country music. Many of those musicians have stepped foot on the stage here at Anderson Music Hall. Talent contest, bands opening for the many great acts like Merle Haggard, Charlie Pride, Loretta Lynn, or Billy Joe Royal. The mountains and the music go hand in hand. Anderson Music Hall is often filled with the sounds of the legends of the music world.
Welcome to beautiful Hiawassee, Georgia. We are at the Georgia Mountain Fairgrounds in Anderson Music Hall, one of my favorite locations to interview legends. Today I am with a true legend. I've waited a lifetime to interview Charlie Pride. He has 36 #1 hits. He is one of those guys I listen to all of my long life. I'm now 63 years old, and I'm happy to say all the periods of my life, there was never a time that your music wasn't touching me. Thank you for doing this interview, and thank you for fighting the Atlanta traffic to get here, because you fought the traffic, didn't you, honey?
It was bump. Every time he decided maybe we ought to go this, it goes like this for a little while. He said, 2 miles up will be workload.
No way around the Atlanta traffic. You are a little bit older than me, and we're not going to disclose your age, but you're a little bit older than me. I'm still very active and on the go all the time, and it really does help keep my mind focused. Your mind is on so much. I mean, I'm sitting here listening to your interview. You love baseball. You love traveling. You love performing. You love your grandchildren. And I understand that you're going to leave here tonight and go back to Texas to do some things with your family. Charlie, how do you do all of this?
Well, I don't know, but I just do it. I mean, I try not to get all sideways about anything, and if it's going to be, we're going to do it. Like,
right.
I'm late here, but we're still doing this, what we're supposed to do. I'm supposed to do this, what I was supposed to do prior to getting here, but I've got to go pretty soon. I'm going to have to dress and go do the show.
Right.
But I'm not going to squinch and scrunch about it. I mean, I'm going to do both of them.
You got to do it. You got to do it.
So I don't know, other than I just try to do it.
Did you ever wake up one morning and say, there's one more thing I want to do? Is there anything that you haven't accomplished you would like to accomplish?
Oh, yeah, there's so many things. I like to make the world a little bit better place than I've already done. I think I've done a pretty good job, because I've got so many fans that love my singing and have treated me so fine and kind. But it's always another plateau. I mean, and I figure the Lord let me stay here for some reason. And I mentioned it earlier that I think it's better to just get up and lay down, get up and eat and sleep and lay down. I think it's always felt that there was something more to it than just that.
Right. I would think you were an overachiever, because you don't just do, you do, then you overdo. Have you passed it on to your children?
Well, I tried, but I don't know whether I've done it. I've spoiled a lot of, especially my daughter.
Surely not. Angela, you have a daughter named Angela.
Oh, boy, she wears me out.
Yeah, I had a daughter named Angela, and a very special young lady.
Yeah, well, she's special, but don't do no finger there. We're gonna do whatever.
He's trying to get my attention, isn't he? He'll tell you right quick. I don't usually pay attention to him, but I can tell you something about your music. I don't know anybody who wasn't touched by some of it. And we were talking yesterday about our favorite songs. And we all had such different ideas of favorite songs. My favorite is All I Have to Offer You Is Me.
That was my first #1.
I absolutely fell in love with that song, and I wore it out playing it. Does Charlie Pride have a favorite song? Is there one? Which one?
Yes, one I'm singing at the moment.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
And
that's pretty cool.
That's not just saying I'm making an answer, but it's the truth. For example, we go to Ireland, and we have to kind of change our, not change, but interchange songs. For example, Crystal Chandeliers was never a single, but I've been doing it in my show all these years. When I go to, they released it in Ireland as a single about 2 or 3 times. I get ready to do that song. It's oh the crystal walls tremble. So I'm loving doing that song. Yeah. I go to Australia and New Zealand. They got on the wings of a song. So I love singing it when I'm singing out. Yeah. So whatever I'm singing at the moment wasn't just said out of trying to be Smith-Smith about it. It's the truth. And I've been blessed with being able to do songs from albums that people love more than they do, what you said a moment ago, what you like. All I Have to Offer You was my first #1 single. Because there's people that go in that album and they pick this one out, they pick that one out. Right. And the reasons for that is Jack Clement. Because he said, no, we're going to go put All I Have to Offer You to Me, and then do Kiss an Angel Good Morning, just throw a whole bunch of songs around. We're going to do songs that everything we do, we think that could be a single. If it's an A song, we make it a double A. If it's a double A, make it a triple A. So we just don't do songs to just throw them in to fill up the album. Right. So I think that's why I have sold so many albums. I only had 1 million Southern single, and that was Kiss an Angel Good Morning, but I've sold I don't know how many albums.
How many couples do you think started their romance with that song on the radio?
All I Have to Offer You?
Oh, no, Kiss an Angel Good Morning.
All of them.
I know what women
Both
feel. Yeah, well, I know what women feel when they're listening to that song.
I just received an email from a lady says, we were going to school, high school, and we loved one another, but we broke up and we came back together. Now we've been married 35 years. Your song, All I Have to Offer You, brought us back together. Okay.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to take a break for just a minute because we're going to have to end this quickly because you were running late, and my cameraman's giving me a signal, and I don't know what he means. So we're going to find out. Okay, we're going to take a break for just a second.
One of the main men of all time in the Country Music Hall of Fame. That's right, Superlatives. Yes. How about a hand, ladies and gentlemen, for Mr. Charlie Pride? Where are you, Mr. Pride? Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Ever I chance to meet old friends on the street, they wonder how does a man get to be this way? Always got a smiling face, anytime at any place. And every time they ask me why, I just smile and say, you got to kiss an angel good morning, and let her know you think about her when you're gone. Kiss an angel good morning, love her like the devil when you get back home. People may try to guess the secret of our happiness, but some of them never learn that it's a simple thing. The secret I'm speaking of is a woman and a man in love, and the answer is in the song that I always sing. You got to kiss an angel good morning, and let her know you think about her when you're gone. Kiss an angel good morning, and love her like the devil when you get back home. Kiss an angel good morning, and let her know you think about her when you're gone. Kiss an angel good morning, love her like the devil when you get back home. Lord.
That's all right. That's the way it's supposed to be right there.
What a great visit with the one and only Charlie Pride. So thankful for the Anderson Music Hall and the greats who stepped on that stage for over 70 years. A couple of 100 feet from Anderson Music Hall is the campground and the shore of Lake Chattooga. Ellijay Phillips took us on an awesome tour. It's hot today, so let's cool off with a fresh mountain breeze and the crisp, clear water as we enjoy a daycation. Welcome to beautiful Lake Chateau, and we would love to introduce you to our driver, and our driver is...
My name is Ellijay Phillips.
And Ellijay Phillips is not only a boat driver, he is a pilot. So are you going to take us up in a plane next time?
Let's do it.
Oh my gosh, I've never been in a little plane. I don't know about that, Ellijay. We'll have to think about that. Thank you for everything today. Now you work, and tell me a little bit about your job and your company.
So I work at a marina on this lake called Lake Chateau Marina, and we're actually on one of our rental boats right now, and we mainly rent boats. We also sell them, and we store them and have wet slips on the dock and put them in, and we also sell gas on the lake. So we are always busy doing something.
Did the boys are y'all enjoying this just a little bit? Are y'all thinking maybe this is the most spoiled we've ever been?
Yeah.
Pretty much. Tracy's chowing down on KFC, and we might say we had to fight to get that chicken because the place was crowded and understaffed, and Lord have mercy, we're so proud of it, and Colonel Sanders is so proud we got it. But you know, when we think about, we're only, what, an hour and 40 minutes from Atlanta?
Yeah, hour 40, 2 hours of traffic.
Yeah. Why don't people come here instead of going to Florida? For goodness gracious, this is peace, it's calm, it's absolutely refreshingly beautiful. Why would you go to Florida?
I don't know.
They ain't using their brain.
No, they ain't.
There's the answer. There's the answer. Yep. Y'all ain't using your brains. This lake, what'd you tell me, 7,000 acres?
That's right.
7,000 acres, and it fronts Georgia and North Carolina.
Uh-huh.
Beautiful atmosphere. This is on a Monday, y'all. You can come Monday through Thursday. You can rent one of these beautiful pontoons, bring your family, hang out, enjoy every single moment of the peace and quiet of this lake. You know the one thing I haven't heard here, and this is unusual, I don't hear any birds chirping. Do you normally hear birds chirping?
In the mornings.
In the mornings, okay. Now you live on the lake.
I do.
Yeah, so tell us how great lake life is.
It's fantastic.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Trace, how's chicken life?
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
I love KFC.
He loves KFC. We could not do this. We could not show up on this beautiful pontoon without a picnic from KFC. You know, when we look at how people are spending their lives, and everybody's so stressed and so worried about the economy and so worried about the election, worried about all these things, when literally you can put all that aside and you can come to Lake Chateau, rent a boat, rent a cabin, stay 4 days, and you go back to work refreshed. Mm-hmm. Absolutely refreshed. Now, if people want to get in touch with y'all, how far in advance do they need to rent a boat?
So that all depends. Weekends are usually a little busier, so you probably have to rent a couple days in advance. If we have availability, you can walk onto the dock and do the paperwork and get on the boat the same day. Mm-hmm. But you can rent. We have rentals 3 months in advance. So just, I mean, the earlier the better to a certain extent. But if you just decided you were going to come up here and rent a boat one day, that is definitely possible.
Yeah. And you are located right across the street from the Georgia Mountain Fair.
We are.
And that's why we're here, because we are celebrating the almost 75th anniversary of the Georgia Mountain Fair. And when we think about the many, many times I've been here, I hate to admit this is the first time I've ever been on this water. I've always taken photos of the lake behind the campgrounds, and we've always said, oh, that looks cool, it looks like fun, but we never took the time to do it. We need to tell people, just take a day. This would be a daycation. If you live in Atlanta, you could leave at 6 o'clock in the morning, be up here by 9, get your boat, go out and spend the day, and have a daycation. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And be back in your own bed that night. Yeah. So, you know, hey, it doesn't get any better than that. Mm-hmm. Now, tell us a little bit about your phone number and how people would reach y'all.
So our phone number is 706-896-2835, and you can do that. We also have a website, lakeschateaumarina.com, and you can call us and rent. And you can rent a boat online as well on the internet, and it'll be sitting down there when you get here.
Oh, it's exciting. This really is, truly. I don't know if I'm going to be able to work next week, guys. I may to take about 3 days of a vacation.
Oh, okay.
I may have to do a staycation. I may have to do a staycation. And come here now, what months of the year are you open? What time is best to call?
Best to call from May till about September, because that's our busiest time. You'll have, the water will be up normal where it is now, and there'll be people down on the dock the whole time. We rent boats as early as April through like October, but the weather's not quite as warm yet, but May through September is perfect up here.
Now, do people, one thing I haven't seen on this lake, do people ski on this lake?
They do.
Okay, because we haven't seen that today, but of course it's a quiet day because it's on a Monday.
Yep.
So, yeah. Now, as a kid, did you attend the Georgia Mountain Fair?
I did.
Do you remember some of the first people you saw there as far as concerts? Do you remember any of the concerts?
Not really into the concerts. I don't go to many of those. We do come out on the lake a lot, and was parked down below the concert venue, and if the doors are open, you can hear it really well. I've been doing that a lot.
Yeah. Well, this is, honestly, Towns County, and we talk about this all the time. Towns County welcomes people from different nationalities, from every state in the union, and I've interviewed people who have been coming here over 30-something years. Every single year they come and they say, hey, we have to go to the Georgia Mountain Fair. It's an important part of Georgia economy because people stop. If they're coming out of Florida, they start spending money all the way up through Georgia until they get to Towns County when they arrive at the Georgia Mountain Fair. So the Georgia Mountain Fair means a lot to a lot of people, and it helps the economy of the whole state of Georgia.
It does.
And I don't think people really realize that because you think about gas stations, restaurants. It's just like us when we stopped at that KFC. What town were we in, guys? Blairsville? Blairsville. It was busy. It was busy, and it was the only KFC within any radius that we could stop at because we had to have the Colonel on the boat. That's just part of Southern tradition. You get you a bucket of fried chicken and you go to the lake, and what better lake than Lake Chattooga?
I can't think of one off the top of my head.
Me neither. No. And you know what's so beautiful? The water today is absolutely gorgeous. It almost looks like you colored the water because you knew we were coming. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. Now tell me about this pontoon because this is a beautiful one.
So this pontoon right here is a 2023 Sunchaser Eclipse. It's a 24-foot boat that's rated for 13 people. This one in particular is powered by Yamaha 150 horse outboard. We also have 175 horse outboards that are available. And they're very nice. We keep them in brand new shape. When these get, at the end of this year, the 2023 models will be sold off.
Wow.
More 2025.
Wow, and it looks brand new. Yeah. It absolutely looks brand new. This is crazy. Now, and tell folks it's about, what, $4.95 a day?
That's around that. Gas, whatever you burn, you'll have to pay for that. So you could, realistically, $550 a day, that should cover everything, if not a little less.
Yeah, that is incredible. That is so awesome. And what a way to bring your family, and you talk about a place where you can park out in the middle of the lake, the kids can jump off and go swim. And tell me the depth of the lake in different areas.
In different areas, right now where we sit, it's 47 feet. Over there closer to the dam, it'll get over 100 foot. Also, there are places that get shallow, little sandbars you can go to that get down to 5, 10, 15 feet. Just, it's varying for whatever you prefer.
And one of the great things about your boats is they come fully equipped, so you know what the depth is. You know to watch and to guide the boat accordingly.
That's right. All of our boats are hooked up with a GPS. It shows you where you're at on the lake. It shows your depth, and it also highlights water that might be too shallow to drive in. That's all highlighted on the GPS, so you can watch that and not really worry about tearing anything up.
There you go. Now, you know something, we hadn't talked about fishing on this lake. Are there fish in this lake?
There are fish in this lake. There's a lot of bass fishermen out on this lake. Also, a lot of people fish off the dock for little bluegills and bass and catfish as well. There's a lot of that.
What's the biggest catfish you ever saw come out of here?
Probably a little over 3 foot.
Wow. So that's about a 30-footer. I mean, a 30-pounder.
30-footer, yeah.
30-footer, yay. That's almost as big as the boat. So what about when people come here to stay? Do they then get addicted and they come and buy a second home?
They do.
You find most people visit and then they just can't wait to get back?
Yep, they do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially with the boat rentals. Everybody's telling us now, well, we were here last year and we loved it. We're coming back.
Yeah, that's incredible. It is so beautiful. It is so pretty. And, you know, when Hilda and I talk about the Georgia Mountain Fair, we always try to include everything that's around here. And never once did we think about coming out on a boat. And then the other day, I guess I told y'all, wouldn't it be cool if we could go out on a boat when we were videoing the dock? Yeah. And it just made sense because this is another part of me that I'd never shared with our viewers because I'd never done it. And so now everybody, I'm going to tell y'all, save your lunch money. Don't go anywhere and waste a dime and spend it on a boat. And that's a daycation. It's a daycation. And this boat holds 13. Where's the kitchen?
Well, we don't have a kitchen. There are.
What are we going to do? That's why we stopped at KFC. There's the kitchen. There's the kitchen. Yeah.
There's a couple restaurants on the lake as well.
Where you can park the boat and go to?
You can park the boat and go. There's a couple restaurants and a couple bars that you can go to.
Yeah. Look at that. Now, they look like they're having fun.
Yeah, they do.
You know, it would be fun if the boys threw me overboard, but it would be really hard.
Oh, that's your cue now.
Yeah. Well, this is a wonderful way to spend a day, and I hope that we've encouraged y'all. You know, we tell everybody, you can smoke, you can drink, you can do whatever it takes to calm your nerves. Let me tell you, this is what it takes to calm my nerves, a day on Lake Chattooga. This will do it for you, and I hope that you will pick up the phone and call these guys and book yourself a boat and come up to the Georgia Mountain Fair. Now, we're going to go back to the fairgrounds in just a little bit, and we hope that you will spend some time getting to know the Georgia Mountain Fair and the beautiful area known as Hiawassee. Wow, what awesome scenery, and honestly a place of peace. I will have to name this place Sanity. Head over to Lake Chattooga Marina and rent a pontoon and just relax. Lordy me, I'd love to be out on that lake today, but you know, work is calling. The mountains are calling too, and we're going to end today with a song, The Mountain Life, written by your buddy, your friend, Mr. Ellijay, Dwight Sanford, about these beautiful mountains. And you know, one of the great things about these mountains are the people in the mountains. And I asked y'all to pray for my dear friend Gwen on Monday, and your prayers came out. Her surgery came out good. She still is facing a lot and still needs your prayers. But we need to pray hard for a very, very special man that I can't tell you his name yet because they're still working on the things that are going to happen, but he's very, very close to us. And he had a scan that wasn't good, and they're going to now order a PET scan. So he's a hard worker. He's a good person, and I told his wife last night, he's a good man with a good heart, and we're going to pray for good news. So when you pray, please remember this. He's a very, very special man, and you've seen him with me before. You've seen pictures of him before. His wife is one of my dear friends, and we're going to be praying for him. We're going to pray that the PET scan comes out, that it's just something crazy, and it's not that bad stuff. So again, please add him to your prayers, and we know that prayers are answered. We saw that with Gwen because it was looking pretty bleak before her surgery. They had to do a lot. It was very extensive, but she's going to heal, and they're going to have to resection her and put her back together in about 5 or 6 weeks. So she still needs your prayers, but it looks better than we thought. So prayers, that's what it's all about. That's what these mountains are about. And as we leave you today, I want you to listen to the words of the mountain life. Many of you were blessed and lived it. Many of you came to visit and you decided to stay, and we're so glad you did. There's something about these mountains that truly calls you home and makes you feel a little different. You get close to Pickens County and you start acting like mountain folk. You get up into Gilmer County and you're really acting like mountain folk. But you get up into Hiawassee and you understand the whole lifestyle. Very laid back, very easy, very enjoyable. And here we go to the mountain life.
Misty mountain
the way I look in your eyes. Tell me, have you had enough? Traffic jams and city stuff. Don't you think it's time to go where black bears climb and waters flow? Hummingbirds out on the deck, your feet propped up, and what the heck? You'll love how we live here in these mountains. Everything is gonna be alright. And we all wave hello here in these mountains. Life is good, we sleep well at night. It's alright, the mountain life. So plan a trip to Ellijay and see the bright red Georgia clay. From Notley down to Carter's Lake, all the memories to make. So much here for all to see, a land that is so dear to me. Welcome home to all your dreams, hot rod Fords and crystal streams. Now you love how we live here in these mountains. Everything is gonna be alright. We all wave hello here in these mountains. Life is good, we sleep well at night. And it's all